Hi, I'm Liam Dennis and I'm a project manager at the Environment Agency. Like so many of our chalk rivers, the River Gade is failing, and that's a result of historical modifications. For one, the River Gade is perched outside of its floodplain and outside of the groundwater, which makes chalk rivers so unique, depriving it of that groundwater. So the river, as it flows through Gadebridge Park, is over wide, over straight, and the bed is smothered in silt. The channel is overgrown with plants that you wouldn't expect to see on a chalk river. That restricts growth and restricts the habitats that we would like to see. So what we plan to do with that is realign the river back to its original location and restore it to its groundwater. So reconnecting it to that groundwater which makes those chalk rivers so important and so unique. So at the moment, the River Gade, where it's been modified and historically realigned, is pushed right to the side of the park, so visitors can't really even experience it. It's overgrown with lots of weeds and different plants. So our plans will put the River Gade right back through the middle of the park, where it actually would have been. So people will be able to experience a chalk river up close and see all the nature and wildlife that a chalk river brings. It also has the added benefit as well. At the moment, the park is prone to flooding, and by realigning the river back to the valley bottom and to the floodplain, we can expect those floodwaters to rescind much more quickly. So without intervention, the River Gade will deteriorate further. So our plans are to restore 400 metres of chalk stream in Gadebridge Park. We plan to do this by realigning the river back to the valley bottom where it naturally would have been. This will restore the link between the groundwater and the channel, which will further improve the quality of the habitat. We can see, as a result of these measures, we can expect to see a gleaming chalk stream back in the middle of Gadebridge Park for visitors to enjoy. So the Environment Agency is working with Dacorum Borough Council, Affinity Water and our contractors BAM Nuttall to complete this project. We're starting on site later this year in the autumn, and we're expecting construction to end in the spring. You may have already seen some activities already with our contractors wearing high vis in the park, but this will really start to ramp up over the next few months.
I'm Robin Bromham, portfolio holder for neighbourhoods in Dacorum Borough Council, and that includes parks and open spaces and this Gade restoration project, which is really exciting. So the Gade is one of only a couple of hundred chalk streams in the whole world, which makes it a very special environment. There is biodiversity in the chalk streams which doesn't occur in very many places, and the idea of this project is to get it back to more like a natural state. So over the last few hundred years there's been a general approach of humans conquering nature, and consequently this river has been put up the side of the valley a bit into its perched position, as it's called, and so that elevated flow of water has been used for agricultural purposes, to feed an artificial lake for the historic Bury sort of aristocratic country house, which was built in 1790, and so we have this legacy now of this river in a rather odd position, and the park being at a lower level beside it. And what then happens when we get a lot of rain is that the water can overspill from the river into the bottom of the park. The idea is to move this stream back into a more natural location, so it will have a more meandering shape in the bottom of the valley, and more of a gravel bed, and there is a spring up on the other bank of the valley here, which at the moment just goes into a pipe, which is a great shame because it contains gin clear water, which at the moment just goes into pipes and ends up somewhere in the Thames, but that will actually feed into this stream and increase the purity of the water. So the Gade is quite a good example of a chalk stream because it is upstream of Hemel Hempstead at the moment. It is relatively unaffected, and there are areas where you can see the watercress growing. Once it comes into Hemel Hempstead, where the new town was developed, it has a bit more runoff from local areas feeding into it. So hopefully this progressive restoration, and this is probably one stage of something which might continue into the future to improve it further, will improve the purity of that water and gradually get more species into it. You can end up with a gravel bed for spawning fish and crustaceans which survive in that alkaline environment. So I think it's not only about increasing biodiversity and this idea that if species go extinct they've gone forever, but also I think people that appreciate the natural environment, and it's actually that big diversity of species that people really enjoy being close to. So this will be part of the park, and it will be something for people to enjoy and look at and identify all the different plants and animals that exist in that environment. And hopefully it will be somewhere for people to visit, and local schools will come and have days out to see what they can identify in the park.